The video that you're about to watch is a edited version of an unscripted unboxing that I did on Twitch from the Tangem wallet that I so brutally misspoke as Tangem during the unboxing. Really sorry, guys. As you can see, this one looks a bit different, and a video will appear about that somewhere this month. After using this wallet for a while and after making the stream, I noticed a few things were different than I expected initially. Now, these weren't deal breakers, but I think you should know them if you plan to purchase the Tangem wallet. These will be edited in at the end of the video. There will be a 10% discount for those who want to buy it and want to support the channel. There will be a link in the description below. I also will explain my journey through other hardware wallets that I had at the time before buying the Tangem wallet. If you're not interested in that and want to jump straight to the unboxing, I will drop a timestamp in the description below that allows you to skip straight to it. Well, with that, let's dive into this rabbit hole. See you there. Hey everyone, welcome to the Emerald Show. How did you all sleep? Really? Well, that's just great. You know, I slept pretty great myself too. Had a really interesting dream. My mom was a demon, and I tricked her into thinking that I thought she was my real mom, which stopped her from freaking out. So, hardware wallets. It's the ideal way to store your crypto, especially when you don't want viruses, malware, or scammers to get access to it. Typically, they do a pretty good job, and I have a big history with hardware wallets. Being in crypto since 2011, I have seen many ups, many downs, and typically the whole reason for me being in crypto is literally I just like the technology. Last time, I believe we made our own NFC cards based on the Bolt card project. It looks super interesting. I think it's somewhere on the back right there. But I also have some brand new ones in here. There we go. Custom artwork, super nice. I've been giving these away for birthdays and whatnot. It's just interesting, you know, it's just fun. I started, of course, with Ledger, like many of the people that we know in the crypto space, they all recommended Ledger. And I have used Ledger for a long time. I mean, I still have it around as decoration, which is kind of fun. But as I mentioned, decoration, I don't use it anymore. And I also don't recommend it anymore. And the reason why is pretty simple. Ledger has been introducing a new service called Ledger Recovery, which lets you split up your seed into shared secrets that only can be recovered if all three come together. And then it shares these secrets with three companies that they trust, including themselves. I really don't understand why they're doing this. Officially speaking, any law enforcement can take the seat by sending a subpoena to all three companies and doing the recovery on their end. This is not an opt-in thing. This is something that is embedded in the firmware of Ledger if you have an update. And many people that I've spoken to, they say, we're just not going to update our Ledger because then you don't have the code that would extract this seed, which makes it more secure. Because that's the whole stupid thing. They add code in an update that can extract the seed, the very thing that they promised not to be able to. And if you want to offer this as a service to technically illiterate clients, I can understand. But they could easily have done this in the client or in their application on their phones, because the seed is visible one time on screen on the device. And in doing so, they could have offered this as a service by letting people give, let's say, another seed, like an encrypted form on the device, and have it enter in the application and then have it sent to Ledger. They could verify the integrity by seeing if the encryption or signature still match. And after that, it's basically done. For this time period, I did not trust hardware wallets at all. Like none. I trusted no hardware wallet. And I came across this interesting project called AirGap. What it lets you do is it lets you create your own hardware wallet by using old phones as a hardware security wallet. It's fully air gapped, as the name says, and it will communicate through QR codes. Now, this is a very interesting idea because many people have a old phone laying in a drawer somewhere, and any old phone that is from 2013 or later has a secure element. So you could easily use that as a hardware wallet. And I trust this because it has many coins, it's open source, I can add my own stuff if I want to, and I did. And it just works. I've been using this for 2 years now, maybe more, and it's wonderful. I trust my whole life savings with this, no problems. I really, really think it's a cool idea, and it's also a good way to reduce the e-waste. But there is this growing paranoia. I feel like, hey, do I still have my seat? So you go look for it. For me, I'm a paranoid person. So this grows after half a year. I go look for it. I create a weak spot. Basically, that's what it is. That's where Tangem comes in. This new type of wallet that I found. It's right here. This is how it looks, and it supports like thousands of coins. It's Swiss based. I like that. It's got an audit, and the application is open source. And I looked into the application, and the full protocol as to how to interact with the firmware is there. In fact, they even have an SDK that you can use. So you could technically write your own applications for it. It's super, super awesome. And I really gotta give them plus points for open sourcing the application. While the firmware itself is, as far as I know, is not open source, I don't think it really matters. The firmware has been audited, as is the chip that is inside this card. The firmware is fully air-gapped, so you only really have to trust the RNG. Since there's been an audit, I trust the RNG, random number generator, but it's still an interesting thing that they open source the application. This is something that Cool Wallet has not done, at least as far as I'm aware. So I looked into the source code of the application. It's very clean, very well written, very well explained. So I have no problems there trusting the Tangem hardware wallet, including the software. Now, the Tangem hardware wallet has some really interesting twists that SetsCard does not have. In fact, that Cool Wallet even does not have. You can create a seed on the card without ever leaving that card, meaning that you can create something that never is out in the open and then create copies. And the coolest thing that I found is that they share how this works, and that is super cool. If you are interested in that, I really recommend you reading into it because it's super cool. So without the key ever leaving the card, they can make backups across multiple cards. Now you can buy this wallet as a 2-pack or a 3-pack, and depending on how much you get, you can make a varied amount of backups. Now the idea that I can create a seed that never leaves my card and then back it up across more cards so that I have a physical copy is really interesting. Now, the only thing that scares me a little is that I have to store my seed or my seedless private key, I guess, on a card that is flash memory basically. Like, what if something breaks? Even when not being used, the hard drive can fail, right? So even if you have 3 copies, however unlikely it is that all 3 of them break at the same time, it can happen, especially when not having looked into it for a while. Now, I have been thinking about this. Is this for me? And the answer is yes, because I am going to use these cards quite frequently, meaning that if it breaks, I will find out rather quickly, meaning that I can turn my back to a copy. I should say turn my front, I guess. Turn my front to a copy and try that one out. For me, I think I'm going seedless, which means no private key that has been copied somewhere. Well, without further ado, let's unbox it. Ooh, nobody's been in here. Nobody has been in here. That's super cool. It's brand spankers, guys. We're the first. Ooh. Okay, so I bought this at the Dutch reseller. So this is why there's like a Dutch piece of paper. There we go. Ooh, there we are. What a beauty! I like it. It's a cool box. Okay, let's open it up. Eh. Oh. Ooh, there they are. They're beautiful. I got 3 cards as advertised, and they feel really interesting. They feel almost metallic. They feel different than regular cards. I don't know what the difference is, but yeah. Right. Okay, so 3 cards, 3 physical copies. There's a getting started guide, which is nice. We don't need that, so we're gonna focus on these cards. Let's put these here. Well then, I guess it's time to get started. Or it's time to get carded. I'm gonna try using the Chonk phone, which is my big rugged projector phone. Now this thing has an issue with NFC. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If this fails, then it's not the fault of Tangem. I have a lot of problems with NFC with this thing. So if that happens, we're gonna use a different phone. Let's open the Tangem wallet. Okay, here we are. And it just looks cool. So scan Tangem. I guess now we're just going to put it in front of the NFC chip. It seems to work. All right, so let's say create wallet. To create the wallet, tap the card as shown above and do not remove until the end of the operation. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Yeah, I think this is where we're going to have issues with our NFC. There is something about the delay. I do not know what it is, but yeah, this phone is fucking annoying if this. All right, let's try again. Okay, so we got success. So this is where you can physically make copies without ever having to share the seat. It's interesting though that this thing kept the seat between phones. That's nice. Okay, so now we have a second copy. Now let's say another one. And now these all should have the same seat without ever having left the card. That's super nice. Okay, so we create an access code. So let's do a demo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Prepare the card with number star star 9638. Long tab. Please ensure security. Please hold the card until the operation is complete. Prepare the backup card with number 9646. Okay, this is an interesting process. I like it. This is really cool about this hardware wallet. It supports multiple coins and it's possible to create backups without knowing the seed. That is just wow. This really is a good hardware wallet for the paranoid. But I must say, I would only recommend it doing it like this if you use your primary wallet quite frequently. Because then you know if one breaks that you need to get your backup. So I guess now what it's doing is it's doing this process where it shares the encrypted backup with the other cards. Yeah, I guess our next logical step is to add some money to it and see how it works. What would be a good place to add stuff to? I guess Binance Smart Chain, because I got some BNB left. I'm not invested in it anymore, but I think I have something left. And yeah, there is some BNB left. $27 worth of it. Awesome. Okay, let's get cracking. And for this I need my freaking air gap phone. So now we're gonna have like 3 phones here that just, sit there. So what I will do is I will scan this address to send money to it. Now the crypto has been sent and let's see what happens here. Will this arrive? Ah, we did it! Okay, let's try to send it back. Okay, so I got my BNB, my $7. I send it back to the wallet that I had before. Okay, let's do max and network fee amount sent will be reduced because, yeah. So this is the first time we do this. So our demo access code. Lodi-dodi-dee. And now we scan again. Hope you're all doing well. Wow. Okay. What I really like about this app is that it's user-friendly as hell. The fact that I can send a maximum amount and it automatically deducts the fee is, I have never seen that before. So yeah, it works. Oh, it works. And the setup is quick. I am going to, after the stream and off camera, of course, I will set this up for my real wallet. I really like that you get multiple copies. I've never seen a wallet do this. And as mentioned before, we have tested other wallets in the stream before, like the Cool wallet, which is really nice and also supports a lot of tokens. But the biggest downside, it has a battery. It drains very quickly. The battery just dies after like 30 transactions. You need a proprietary charger, which means that if you take this on the go, you can almost never use it. You have to carry the charger as well. Someone like me who goes on a lot of business trips, I just have this charger in my bag. But if I forget it, this thing is basically useless. What I like about this thing is it needs no power at all. It draws the energy from your phone, which is really nice because even if you have no phone, you could still use this, which is super interesting. So, as mentioned before, there were some things that I wished I knew before I purchased the Tangem hardware wallet. Modern Bitcoin wallets, be it hardware or software, they create an entirely new address and put the change money on that new address when you send money to someone else. This does a few things, enhancing your privacy, increasing account security, and Tangem doesn't do that. It reuses the same address over and over, which also is fine. It reduces fees, it has some other advantages, but it's less secure. But on the good side, they are planning to integrate this in 2025, which is nice. Meanwhile, if you really want something like this feature, the app does support a custom derivation path feature, which is not as beginner friendly, but it lets you create multiple addresses on the same card. I tried this feature, it works. I managed to send Bitcoin from multiple addresses to multiple addresses. It was all fine. So that got me covered for now. I hope they're gonna add custom Cosmos tokens like they did with Ethereum in the future. So Tangem, if you're listening, that's what you gotta do. Another thing that got me a bit confused is that the Discord channel of Tangem is a bit weird at times. The team on the Discord server is sometimes a bit confusing. Like, at one moment, I literally just woke up out of bed and they shared this announcement that was really confusing. After reading this announcement, I just jumped up and ran to my computer, and in my underwear, I checked if everything was fine because it looked like there was this vulnerability on Tangent, but there wasn't. It's just the way it was written. Now, the good side here is that Tangem, of course, is a company, and like many other companies, it's a group of people, which means that there is not a singular belief or religion or political opinion. You know, every person has its own different sets of opinions and views on life and the world and all that. So, of course, you're gonna see mixed messages from this company. It's just that this one thing I did not agree with, and I decided let's just agree to disagree. It's fine. So that's my only things that was a bit of a hurdle, but I don't see them as deal breakers. I am still using the Tangem hardware wallet, which is a month or more after recording this video, and I'm very happy with it. And I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.